Okay. Let's see. Can two alphas be in a relationship?
There's no such thing. It shouldn't be. Not in a relationship, no.
No. A relationship requires submission from both parties. So you can be
I like that.
Like you can be dominant in certain areas, but in a relationship you gotta figure out what role you need. You know what I'm saying? Like you figure out what your strong suits are and what your partner's strong suits are, and depending upon what the goal is, you allow each other to show up as the best parts of yourselves for the mutual benefit. So submission is gonna have to happen at some point. Like both parties are leading in their own way, but it's with the intention on being willing to back down for the better good of the couple.
So knowing your role.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And operating as such. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think? Y'all agree with that?
Absolutely. You know, you gotta let whoever's, best to quarterback the play do just that.
Yeah.
You know, you can't have it, too big of an ego or whatever. If the goal is to win, whatever that means between you two, then man, that's what you gotta do.
I got you.
So wait, are we? Thank you. So are we talking about hetero right now? So man and a
I
woman.
hope
can
that's
be
the only
alpha?
relationship at this point.
Okay. I just wanted to have.
I mean, for me, either way, I don't really. I mean,
Alpha,
that's
beta.
whatever relationship you in. You feel me? What you think?
Well, in context of a woman and a man, I don't think that alpha women really exist. I think that there are women who are forced to be strong, so they are. But I don't think like alpha women really is a thing. I think that some women just like had to boss up and they did. You know what I'm saying? But like would not want to if they like didn't have to.
Some of them think. I think some of them just don't know how to put their dick up. They be trying to, you know what I'm saying? They need to put, you know what I'm saying? Put that masculine energy behind. Then get some men that allow them to.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that come with baggage that come along in all relationships. You know what I'm saying? Going back to what Nikki said, if a woman feels secure in that department, she gonna ease up. That trauma may allow that to come out. You know what I'm saying? But once you see that, exactly, because most women are, well, I can't speak for most women. Most women that I've dealt with that have shared this with me are operating out of survival mode. You know what I'm saying? So it's that I got to show you that I'm dominant and I can do it and I'm worthy or whatever the case may be. When they see that it's a man that's saying, hey, you know what, that's cool, but we taking care of this, and you taking care of that, and you're exposing them to things that they didn't see before. You're exposing the whole board to them. Now they're more comfortable being in a feminine. You know what I'm saying? And
We love to be taught new things.
I think the biggest thing is if you can't actively lead yourself correctly, what in me is supposed to be like, yes, let me take your hand and let you lead me. And that's a process. You have to know somebody through some seasons and see how they conduct themselves and how they carry themselves before you say, yeah, I'm going to hand over everything I've built for myself, maintained for myself. Because like you said, most women who are operating in this masculine energy ain't because they volunteered to want to show up as a man. This ain't no man showed up and said, hey, I can partner with you, build with you, so I have to protect, provide, and take care of me. But when a real man shows up and you fill in those gaps, I can step back and do the soft parts. I would prefer to do the soft parts.
Now, and I think what that is, it sounds great, right? It sounds good, but at the same time, you got to remember, you have to even get to that point. A lot of these women that are raised on survival and not love don't even know how to allow somebody to lead.
What's raised on survival? Though?
So when you that's a big. I'm real big on that. So if you dealing with a woman that wasn't taught how to love, she was brought up on survival, worrying only about herself, then you can't expect her to put you first or to love you properly. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna be doing shit that some stabbing you in the back shit because she's only worried about survival. You dig what I'm saying?
And she's
so
not
you were
looking at
raised
you
on
from the
love.
position of partnership. She's looking at you from the position of a come up.
You know what I'm saying? And then you have to look at when women are like that, you don't even give a man a chance to stick around long enough to lead you because you got all this masculine energy. You don't allow them to be the man. You don't trust them. Everything they do, they got to prove it to you because you are worried about, goddammit, whatever the fuck you went through. As opposed to coming in fresh and giving them an opportunity to, let's do this the right way.
But y'all prove everything else to everybody else. You prove to your boss that you want that raise.
Uh-oh.
You prove that you want to be starting on the team, though. Like, you prove all of this to your
You know,
friends
but the
that
thing-
you're
wait.
the man. But how about
Right.
like me, though?
So wait.
To me,
You know the
why
things
is
that
it
you
a
just
problem when
said?
it comes to me?
So you know the things that you just said that the man will prove, he can everything that you said was based on hard work. You can do all that hard work with a woman and she still not trust you because she's still holding on to what the last nigga did. You said so yourself. You see those red flags and this, that, and the other, you're not even giving them the chance. You got to think about it. You dig what I'm saying? They say, like, the things that you mentioned are all based on hard work. You can start on a team. You can get that raise. Yeah, because you know why? That's the only way we're going to get ahead. We got to work our ass off because that same boss going to tell you ain't shit and you ain't doing it. That motherfucking coach going to tell you your ass weak. You need to goddamn it run harder. They're not going to sugarcoat it for a man. All our life we told do better or you ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to a masculine woman not allowing a man to enter that space, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't give men a chance a lot of times.
And then you got to even think about this. I see a lot of mothers out with their sons, and their sons just being young men going through life or whatnot, you know, and they're like, sit your dumb ass down. Do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's being instilled in them, you know, so early on. By the time they get to you, it's like, man, they're already ruined in a sense. And it's not to say like, you know, hold a parade or nothing like that or anything for these guys, but understanding that like as a man in this world and a black man, a melanated man in this world, like everybody's against us, even our own sisters. And we play a role in some of that. You know what I'm saying? However, we still have to at some point get it together, understand like, man, the role we play, this is what it is. The role you guys play, this is what it is. How can we make it work? We got to get to solutions.
Why did you sip your tea when he when he said the world is against us? What was that about?
Because I think, again, it goes back to that very deep-rooted history that we have where we were put against each other in situations and, you know, black men were emasculated in front of us and just all of that. And I just feel like black women are not against black men. I think that they just feel that way. I think that, again, like black women were maybe put in a position where they felt like they had to be that way. But, like, we're not against y'all. And, I mean...
I feel like if anybody is empathetic to y'all cause, it's us.
Right.
But I will say that there's still work that needs to be done. I'll say this. My guy sent me a post, and I thought it was really valid once I read it. The post said, it was a guy speaking, he was like, women ask men to protect them, but won't even listen or respect them. And I thought that was deep, because if you think about it, no woman really is going to entertain a man that she doesn't think can protect her. Just being honest. I know I'm not going out with no nigga who I feel like I gotta bang or I gotta fight to defend us. I'm just not. So, with that in mind, if I expect you to defend and protect me, that means I'm asking you, should something arise to put your life on the line? The bare minimum is being able to listen to you. Now, I ain't gotta agree with you. I ain't gotta implement every time you say something. But I should be able to listen to you. Yeah. And respect is the bare fucking minimum, because I'm asking for that too. So I do think that there was some validity in that. I do think that women need to give space and hold space for men to be able to communicate with us, because I don't know too many places other than us and black men that black men can come to as a safe space. Like they said, society is already hard enough on black men. And mental health is not something, like black men are not taught to cry or show emotion, be vulnerable. So if we don't create a space, and I'm not saying that in absolution you just excuse bad behavior, you tolerate whatever, you don't have boundaries or standards. But if your man come in from a hard day at work, life done beat his ass, and the first thing you do is start bitching and complaining, are you any different than what society is giving them? You know what I'm saying? So, like, we do have to take into consideration that there's some ebb and flow. You asking a man to give something, you got to be willing to give something in return. And it may not look like what the fuck you want to give. I'm learning this every day. I ain't been in a relationship a long time. But I'm dealing with a grown-ass man in comparison to little boys. And you can't take the baggage from the boys and get that to a man and expect for him to digest it the same way that boys do. They just not.
So tell me, you had a face about that. I want to hear what you had to say about that.
Man, I feel like I felt a couple of ways during a couple of points, but I really don't know which.
All right,
one.
yeah, I'm just wondering, because that's something, I think you hit that nail on the head, and that's one of those things that I feel like we just missed that point of communicating that with each other and taking each other's feelings into account. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think men should be worrying about crying and shit all the time and your emotions. We are not women. We don't work that way. You dig what I'm saying? And when you start to make men think that that's the best way they should be, that's when you get all these bitch ass niggas like you get. All these sassy ass boys. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, I feel like in 2023, guys talk to podcasts more than they do to their women. And after a long hard day, like, y'all want to go hang with y'all boys in the studio, like, y'all, like, just, I don't know, I just feel like it's the same energy should be given to us.
Well, but you gotta, but is that a safe space though? You dig what I'm saying? That was something that she said. Is that a safe space? It's a lot easier sometimes.
Of course it's not gonna feel safe because your homeboys are not gonna hold you accountable. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, man, you right.
That's not how men operate.
I gotta disagree. Because I think one of the beautiful things about the guy I deal with is we do talk. Like, no subject is off limits, and I like the fact that he refers to me as his safe space. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's something that takes time to acquire, because there's definitely been arguments and motherfuckers get off the phone and don't talk. It's definitely taking work to get to a place where we understand what communication looks like. So I'm not saying that it's an easy walk, and I'm not saying everybody deserves it. But in the same breath that you want somebody to give what you're looking for, you got to be willing to be flexible if something shows up that looks like it's worth the investment. Because you won't know if it's not until you do some work.
The thing is that I've been too flexible. That's the thing. Like, I'm literally a gymnast in this hoe, and it's gotten ridiculous.
So one thing I think when you mention how you want a man would rather go kick it with his boys, this, and this. You know why men will go kick it with their boys? Because it's no fucking pressure. They don't have to worry about if this nigga happy, if this nigga got an attitude, if he want to eat, if he want to do this. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Do it yourself. Right. I'm just here worried about me. Right. I'm trying to chill out, nigga. Watch the game, whatever the fuck it is. I don't have to worry about your feelings, my nigga. I'm not worried about that shit. But every time you with your woman, she walk past the wrong way. What's wrong with you? You feel me? What's the problem?
Maybe because y'all sweep stuff under the rug and don't actually fix the problem.
No.
Okay, so here's the thing. I do not agree with nagging. I feel like there are better ways to communicate effectively and like reach a resolve. But if something is not fixed, it lingers, right or wrong.
Correct.
Yes, but I know that's correct. But let me ask you this. How many times does your man have to ask you what's wrong before you actually tell him? 10, 12, nothing. Pop your neck, this, that, and the other.
Maybe you should find out about your girl before you.
Why I can't just ask you? Why can't I just say, hey, what's wrong?
Because everybody handles. Some people may have such a slick tongue that they need time to before they even, because they don't want to give you that tongue lashing.
And that's good. And that's respectable, right? However, because my woman, she's my age, and I know you're a little bit younger. I had to teach her.
That's some real shit.
I get that you may not
want. That's some real shit.
Right. You may not want to express fully how you feel right now, but let me know you feel something, because that puts me in the space of correcting it. Whatever it is, I'm more receptive of it when you say, you know what, I do feel a way. This is not the time to talk about it. So I know I can prepare. But when you just hit me out the blue and say, you know what, X, Y, and Z, and I've asked you several times, is everything okay? What's going on?
What's
you seem
wrong?
a bit off. No, I'm good.
Low-key,
that's not communication.
You can't say as a woman that wouldn't piss you off either, G. If you was around your homegirls and she pouting or she giving this energy like something off, you done asked 3-4 times what's up, and she still give you that energy like ain't nothing wrong, but her body language saying something wrong, you'll be annoyed too. And I think that's one of the things. Like, sometimes we check out when it's us, because we so affected by what's been done to us that we don't see when we projecting it too. Like, can't have it both ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't expect the motherfucker to read your mind. If something wrong and you're asked what's wrong, put it on the table. Because even if it's not addressed in that moment and brought to resolution in that moment, at least he know this is the problem. Now, you go sit with that if you need to figure out what the fuck a resolution looks like, but you've been made aware. Because like you said, I'm only going to say it so many times before the delivery going to change.
And I'm going to just be like, whatever. You'll get over it eventually, or you'll tell me when you're ready. Or if I keep asking,
that's not what I'm saying. If I've answered the question, because I agree with her as well. If I've answered what the problem is and the behavior continues to show up, you can't expect the answer to the question going to be the same. So once you asked me the first time and I done told you what the problem is,
it should be
and the problem shows up again, the response is going to elevate every fucking time we got to revisit this, because you're not a child. If you continue to demonstrate the behavior, now at this point, this is character. This is you showing me you don't give a fuck. Like, I have to tell this man over and over again. Every time you tell me you're going to be here at this time, you show up an hour late, 2 hours late, that's disrespectful because it says to me that you don't value my time the same way you value yours. Because a simple text message or a phone call to say something came up, I can't be upset. But when you say I'm going to be here at 8:30 and you show up at 10:30, you know I got to clock in at 8 o'clock in the morning, you say fuck me. So
whoa. You're getting very oddly specific. Oddly specific here, y'all. This is oddly specific.
You feel me? But I'm just saying. Like,
I get it, though. I get it. But you know, that's a very clear-cut issue. I'm talking about these attitudes that women will walk around with and expect you just to know. If I ask you 2, 3, 4 times, I'm not going to ask the 5th.
No.
Oh, well, yeah.
You feel me?
I feel
I'm
like
just
that's
gonna,
not a gender-based thing. I
Like,
think that's just fair. If I asked you what the problem is to bring it to resolution and you're choosing to be in your feelings because you think your delivery ain't going to be right and I'm not grown enough to handle it, then sit in your fucking feelings and you can be grown. And then we can talk about it when you know how to be an adult. Not you, baby, but just in general.
Oh, I don't take anything personal.
You know what I'm saying? Just in general, because people will do that. That's not just a female thing. Like, people will be in their feelings and pick and choose when they want to have a conversation.
I think that goes back to women and those sassy boys we was just talking about. You dig what I'm saying?
Identify them as whatever you want.
Feel
and
me?
have a penis and balls.
Them sassy ass boys, you know what I'm saying? That's one of them things, though. You know, it is what it is.
Boys.
Sassy ass boys, man. There's a lot of them out here these days, and that's the thing.
Purses
When you go back to trying to tell men they should be more emotional, and this, no, fuck that. And one thing that I noticed, so I have 3 daughters, right? I got 3 daughters, and my son is my youngest. It's a completely different way that I raise him, the way I raise them. You dig what I'm saying? Because, son, get up. Stop all that damn crying. It's not going to get you anywhere. Yeah. Nobody's going to give a fuck. You dig what I'm saying? As a boy, you can cry all you want, but when you go your ass to school and you be that crying ass little punk in the corner, you're going to get picked on. And then it's going to keep going. And then nobody's going to give a damn. Stop doing all that crying. You can't cry every time your feelings hurt. You know what I'm saying? You can't cry because you didn't get your way.
But you do want to raise an emotionally healthy son.
Hey,
so you don't want to tell him not to show emotion.
Hey, listen, the emotions that you need to show is get up, brush yourself off, and keep going. You know why? Because as a man,
that's not realistic.
That's absolutely realistic as a man because that's what the world's going to tell you.
That's why
you can sit in your. Hey, listen.
We have so many emotionally immature men.
Hey, look.
Who don't know how to
that's fine. I'm telling you how men are raised and how you should be raising men. We just sat up here and talked about all these sassy ass boys out there. That's part of the problem. What I'm saying is men are raised a certain way because the world is tough on you. The world's not going to care about you crying. The world's not going to care about your ass not, goddammit, getting your way so you can stump your feet and go sit in the corner.
I ain't say that.
That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm talking about. You can cry when your feelings are hurt by, something happening and this, that, and the other. Don't cry when you lose your job, nigga. Get your ass up and get the fuck back out there.
Right.
Because that's what the world's going to tell you. You can't sit here and play these games and, oh, whoa, it's me. And, man, get your ass up out of here.
I mean, but that shouldn't be applicable for a woman either.
Hey, but if they do it, if a woman cry because she lost her job, are you going to look at her a certain way? And if you're, all right, prime fucking example, right? Let your man come home crying because he lost his job. You're going to be looking at that nigga like, what's wrong with you?
I'm gonna cry about losing a job.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to be looking at him like, you feel me? Come on, man. Crying.
But you
you
just said create a safe space enough where a man can talk to you, right?
Talk. I ain't say come crying like a bitch.
But
she's not. Are you gonna look at him the same after that?
I think
if
that
it's situation appropriate, yeah, I want my man to feel comfortable.
In that situation that I said,
losing his job is not a reason to cry.
Exactly. And if he comes home crying to you about it, are you gonna look at him the same way?
If he don't come home crying to me, he's gonna go cry to a side bitch, and then we have a bigger problem.
Hey,
no, for real, because people should be running to God, but they're running to each other. So let's just entertain that right now.
My thing is, but everybody, what if you're
like,
not religious?
I like that little shoulder.
Right.
She did a shimmy. She did a whole shimmy.
You know
what I'm saying?
And that's my thing. When people say, you mentioned that earlier, and that was something I did want to question when you said run to God. Is that just running to you and you having your own personal conversation with God? Or is that like you talking to a pastor or somebody like that? Because my thing is, if that's just you having a conversation with him, how do you know it's just not your subconscious telling you whatever you want to hear? You know what I'm saying?
Even if it is my subconscious, we are all made in his image. So he's within me anyway. So I would look within me to find him.
Is that going to tell you,
how
do you know that's going to tell you what you should be hearing and not what you want to hear?
Because I've been doing it the other way for a long time. It didn't get me nowhere.
What's the other way? Dealing with
listening to friends or to my mama who's a hater. like strangers who, you know what I'm saying, they like, you know, when you're suicidal on Facebook, oh my gosh, feel better. You feeling yourself to be like, damn, pipe down. Why you so cocky? You know what I'm saying? Like listening to all those people. So when I did it that way, it didn't get me nowhere.
So,
but I just
did it the run to God way.
Yeah, when I don't tell anybody what's going on, then they can't like celebrate it
or sabotage it. I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's good to, especially in this industry, it's so many personalities and stuff. Like you want to get grounded and centered in who you are, because you'll get lost real quick.
That's rough, y'all.
What?
The way women internalize like these emotions and worry about other people. Y'all put more on y'all self than I think. Because as a man in this business, I don't care about none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm keep it real. I dead ass have tunnel vision, right? You know what I'm saying? If it's something that I want to do.
You also not in a position where somebody's probably going to try to leverage an opportunity.
I mean, they will.
What to fuck?
What you mean?
And that's something women face in this
wait.
industry
You think
all the time.
I get that, but y'all don't think
the power dynamic
that happens?
is typically men are in position of authority or power, so it's very seldom that a woman is leveraging her power to fuck you. And more times than
that
not,
depends
a man
on
wants
who
to
you.
fuck.
But again,
so I don't have to leverage
here's the thing,
power
though.
to
That
fuck
also
you.
depends on who you're around and the way you carry yourself with
just
that.
kinda facts.
I'm gonna keep it real. Most of the people that I deal with in this business are women. You dig what I'm saying? And they goddamn it don't play none of that shit. Like real shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just really, I feel like it's something that if you want it, you gotta have tunnel vision, and you also have to be in a space where you're not worried about people trying to take advantage of your emotions, or you know what I'm saying, how you put it. You know what I'm saying? Or worrying about, I don't care about none of that shit.
Well, see,
but I'm very hold on. I'm here to talk about to that. You know what I'm saying? Responding to her point.
Gotcha.
I'm just saying you have to also kind of be able to separate the two. You keep people in compartmentalized for what they're good for. This is what we do here. This is what we do here. If this person is not having your best interest at heart, then why the fuck they around anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like you have to stay focused on your goal and your journey. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody ain't going to want the same thing for you that you want for yourself. Everybody's not going to try and help you get where you're trying to go. But the people that come around that are going to be there trying to do that shit, they're going to stick around. You know what I'm saying? You're going to, like, you see this, like we talked about earlier, you see the same people doing this as long as you're doing, you know, if you really want these things. You know what I'm saying? Me and Moms ran into each other, shit, probably 10 years ago. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And just kept bumping into each other at different events and this, that, and the other. Who you see with me? My same people. My same team. You dig what I'm saying, bro? Like, real talk. We can't worry about that. We got goals. We building brick by brick on that organic shit. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to play. Like, I can't worry about all that fuck shit. I got goals. I got dreams. I got shit that we doing. And we going to keep grinding. Y'all see what we did there?
I think different people have different struggles, and I think that women face different struggles.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Yeah, and I said it's hard for y'all because y'all internalize these emotions more so than we do.
But I don't think it's
you
so
feel
what I'm conveying to you is I don't think it's internalizing emotions or acting off of emotion. What I'm saying to you is, like, I'll give you an example. Like I said, I got the beading business. A guy who was watching me from college reached out to me at one point and was like, AG, I think it's really dope what you're doing. I would love to assist you in any way that I can. Cool. Left that on red for a minute. Some stuff came up and I wanted to move some money around and I didn't want to touch my bread, but he had already volunteered to invest. I'm looking at this solely from a business perspective, especially considering I didn't reach for you with this idea. You reached for me. So I hit him like, hey, this the play. You go invest the $150 for me to buy this product, then return on your investment is $300. He agreed. Now once I go buy the product, he messages me and says, hey, I need you to go to the Secretary of State and modify the paperwork to reflect that I'm a CFO of your business. For $150, you thought you became the CFO?
So look, but this is my thing though. Hate to say it this way, but you put yourself in that situation. As a man, if it's a nigga that, goddamn it, bro, we gonna do some business, now we partners. Right. You feel me? Fam, you not doing me no favors, nigga. Yeah. You dig what I'm saying? You're not doing me no favors. So,
he didn't do me a favor.
Hold on. Listen. No. Hold on. Let me finish. Okay. Listen to what I'm saying. Y'all address terms that way. My thing is, as a man let's say we going into business on some shit, I'm not gonna expect that because now we already know that's leverage. You dig? As a man, that's leverage. If he's coming in with the capital, regardless of the dollar amount, he's coming in with the capital. So now he's controlling it. You dig what I'm saying? He has that in his head, and that's what he's going for. He's not going. Hold on. He's not going to address a man like that. You dig what I'm saying? Like, bro, if we gonna do, hey, shit, I got 75, you got 75. Let's do this. Let's go, whatever the fuck it is. You dig what I'm saying? That's just how I would think as a man dealing with a man. You dig what I'm saying? Like plain and simple. And let's say it's a
pause. So you don't think that logic is fucked up? That it's okay for you to go into a partnership, but if you're saying that his mentality was wrong coming into it based on the fact he was gonna conduct business with a woman, you don't think that's flawed on his behalf?
No. I think you didn't listen to what I said. I said you put yourself in that position to allow him to come in with that capital that way, because that's what he's thinking. That's how business works.
And let me add on to this.
Mm-hmm.
Because the unread aspect, right? When you did respond, you showed a need,
Yep.
right? So you lost all of your bargaining chips right there.
Yep.
They're like, oh, okay, you need me. Even if you respond, just say, well, you know, we can look and see what may make sense for the future. You're speaking.
So you're not getting all of the specifics, because of course I'm not.
No, that's not
right.
Look. We just saying on surface level.
Just based off of.
I heard what you said. My comprehension is not bad, guys. What I'm saying to you is you identified that if two men were going into business, the approach would be different. How is he not wrong for thinking that the approach should be different because he's handling a woman? And that's what I'm saying.
What?
It's already one-sided when these situations happen,
It's
because men will come into them with their own agenda that is not spoken in the communication. That's all I'm saying.
And my issue was, I feel like you went in wrong.
You made that plain.
Right. You went in wrong. It's not about him, because it's business. You're supposed to try and get an upper hand in business. Plain and simple. What I'm saying is, if you
investment and we're gonna double the money invested. That's
exactly,
where you want
but
it.
that still makes him.
That is unrealistic. $150 does not make
It
you
doesn't.
the CFO
The
of
amount.
anybody's
The amount
business,
isn't the
period.
point.
Right.
I think that's what we're missing.
The amount isn't the point.
You made a
It's
small contribution to a business that I had been building for years. If you thought at that point that $150 bought you into a CFO